So it's great here to be with Philipp from eGym, and at NGP Capital we recently made an investment in eGym, and the company has a super exciting story. So Philipp, why don't you talk a little bit about the origins of the company and why you created eGym?
Yeah, sure. I've always been an entrepreneur, born and raised in Germany, only played soccer there. Then I moved to the United States for my studies. And there I quickly learned that when you go to a US business school, you have to wear your university t-shirt and you have to take that t-shirt to your university gym. So that's what I did. That's how I entered for the first time in my life to a gym, and I had no idea how to use it. And then I started understanding better how to use the gym properly, and I thought using technology can help actually to upgrade the user experience, to personalize the user experience, and then make the gym work for everyone.
Yeah, that's great. But why, you were playing soccer, why did you go to the gym?
Yeah, it was really, my colleagues pulled me in there. And it was at Columbia Business School, the gym is not so great. It's in the basement, 3 stories down the ground, stinky halls, really old equipment, no windows. But so many people did go there, and I realized it makes a lot of sense to go there, but you have to know how to use it.
Yeah.
And I thought that most people have no idea, and so we can use digital technologies to make it actually work for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. No, and it's we're obviously not your first investor, so talk a little bit about the journey from where you started and you started taking money in and then to where we are today.
Well, yeah, so when I returned from the United States, I had this idea, I want to found a company that actually makes the gym work for everyone. And because if we could make that work, we could have a huge positive impact on the health of our society, because you find gyms everywhere. But the problem right now was that the gym doesn't work. So I came back to Germany, I started a company, pitched to first investors, and I told them, I'm going to do R&D in Germany because I have lots of great contacts there, but I'm starting to market the product from day one in the United States. Then they showed me all the case studies of companies from Germany targeting first the US market, and this data was not so convincing. So I started then out of Germany, but I always had the goal to come back to the United States, and then we became big in Germany, and then obviously it was a better risk return profile to then also go to France, also go to the UK. And finally, this year, we were able to launch again, 7 years later, the United States. And so it's a very exciting year for me.
Yeah, no, that's great. And why, what's different in your, a machine is a machine. What's different in your machines?
Yeah, so, our idea about using the gym properly is making sure that you walk into the gym, you don't need to read much about how to use the gym, but every piece of equipment would recognize your bow, you want to lose weight, and the machine would automatically know what's the right training plan for you, setting up automatically and guiding you through a perfect training plan. And for that we have a lot of software products that integrate all the equipment from all the different manufacturers in the world of gym equipment, where we can create a connectivity. But then there are areas where just nothing is yet electric and not internet connected. That is a strength area, for example, strength training. And so we developed our own strength machines that would also automatically understand, hey, it's Bo, and this is how I set up the machine. This is the training plan for Bo, depending on his body and his training plan, training goal, to have a perfect workout. So basically what we try to do is bring a workout experience that elite athletes enjoy to the mass market. But the mass market is characterized with low engagement, but that's okay, because technology just takes all the pain. You just need to show up and give your best. You don't need to spend a lot of time with us because you have a very effective workout. And so this way we can actually help people to achieve their training goals in much less time.
We got to know each other last year because you bought one of our companies.
Yeah. And
tell us a little bit about that, why you did that, and how that experience was.
Yeah. So on our mission of making the gym work for everyone, in order to really create a huge push into the health of our society, we were always just focused on workout data. We then realized that workout data is the most important piece of a gym, but there's also lots of other business model functions around the gym, for example, like reward programs for the gym members, other marketing functions, and there's a whole set of important features that our solutions were not providing the gyms with. We were always just focused on the workout data. And then we found this company here in the United States, NetPulse, who is the global market leader for gym apps, that offers all those features that are super relevant for the gym owner's business model. However, they were lacking actually the connectivity to the training floor. That's exactly where we are strong. And so what we realized is if we combine both products, we actually deliver a solution that is great for the members and great for the gym operators, which will most sustainably then help us to grow in this market segment.
Yeah.
Also, NetPulse was really large in the United States, while we are really large in Europe. And so there was a lot of kind of matching reasonings why we decided, well, we should join forces. Also, the founder of NetPulse, John Ford, became our CEO in North America, who has become a fantastic partner for us to turn our vision into reality.
But it's not the only company you have acquired. You have a sort of a little bit different strategy than just going organically, growing organically. So can you sort of talk about what you've done there and why you're doing it that way? Yeah,
I mean, the way we look at our mission is basically, on the one hand side, we want to make the gym work for everyone. And on the other hand side, we want to help our society become healthier with all those gyms that now work. And so we have identified that corporates are having huge incentives to invest in the health of their employees. And so we are now also entering what we call our corporate wellness platform, where we basically allow corporates to send their employees in our connected gyms that finally work. It's a huge incentive for corporates to invest in the health of their employees, and they can use our gyms. And it's not just an employee perk, but it's actually a real corporate wellness solution, because we can report back that those employees become healthier.
So if I sit in the machine, then you'll send a report of my workout to my boss?
No, of course.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, just of course your boss would only get an aggregated information about that it made sense to invest. And typically, by the way, the corporates, they don't even want to see individual data. They just want to see that it made sense for them to invest.
Yeah. So they see that through maybe less absentees and less sick leave and things like that. Is that sort of how they want to measure it, or do they have other metrics?
So there are two major pillars that makes it so interesting for corporates to invest in employees' health. One aspect is medical costs. That is more relevant in the United States, because in Europe we typically have socialized health. The other pillar, which is relevant in the US and in Europe, is indeed less absence costs, higher productivity, and also a happier workforce. And so both together, both arguments, each of the two arguments would be already enough to invest heavily into the health of your workforce.
Yeah.
But in the United States, actually, both arguments are super relevant.
Yeah, yeah. So you have founded this company. When did you found the company?
January 2011.
That was very precise.
Yeah.
Is that because January is the big month for fitness?
Maybe, yeah.
So, and then talk a little bit about what sort of, after you founded the company, then did you just go out and raise a ton of money, or how did you sort of build it out?
No, we really just got a very tiny governmental grant that helped us to survive the first year. We built the prototype, we actually found the first customers, and then we started raising money to actually turn it into a marketable product, and then also to for our hardware product, kick off the series production. And then I can remember very well when we started our journey, the European investors thought that our vision is too big, right? Fixing one industry in order to actually fix another industry, right? So we want to make the gym work for everyone, but then help the health market to drive the shift from repair to prevention.
That's what you learned in Columbia Business School, right? To think big.
Maybe, yes. Yeah. So that's basically what we pitched from day one. Now that we did these acquisitions and so on, it looks more credible now. But that was really what we wanted to do from day one.
Yeah.
And initially, the feedback from European investors was like, this is a vision that only works in the United States. But we kept building, and at the end we were always able to convince investors based on the initial traction we had, and not so much about just the vision, but also, of course, the vision.
And how many gyms do you have in Germany, for instance?
So in Germany there are 6,500 gyms in total, and 1,200 already have our products.
Wow. So how deep do you think you can penetrate the German market?
Well, you know, as we want to make the gym work for everyone, it has to be every gym.
That's a big ambition.
Yes, it is, but it's that will make the gym industry so strong, because we will help the health market to really use the gyms as a scalable possibility to drive prevention. Yeah. And I don't see any other industry better positioned to help the health market to do so, because we have professionally trained staff, we have professional equipment, we have professional protocols, and we are on every corner. And so there's not many other industries that are so well positioned. Just we need to offer a product that actually helps the people to achieve their training goals.
And are easy to use.
And are easy to use.